everyone. Shaelene McInnis here with Books in Line and with the Ontario Wellness Network magazine, joined by Robin Scobie and Linda Simpson with Empowering Business Inc. We are again here talking about something the three of us are very passionate about. We're talking about cash flow. As we've said before, if you've heard any of our other podcasts, 80% of self-employed businesses within the first 5 years will fail. And in the next 5 years, that remaining 20%, 80% of those will fail, which means the success rate for self-employed people is only at about 4% at the 10-year point. That, for the three of us, is an unacceptable number. We've all worked in the accounting and bookkeeping field for many, many years. We have, between all of us, most likely thousands of self-employed clients over the years. And these are people that we care about very much, as we've discussed previously. When you are self-employed, you are your business. It is not, you leave the office and you go home and it's completely over, and that's, two separate parts of your life. When you're self-employed, it's your whole life, right? So, and we've all lived this. So it's really important to us that we want the people that we work with to be successful. And we're trying to help people do that by teaching about cash flow. Cash flow is the number one reason for businesses to fail. It's coming in all at once and then nothing, or it's just not steady, or we don't know what's coming in or what to expect, or we know there's going to be a slowdown. We're not prepared for it. So this is our third episode in many episodes about cash flow. The first episode we covered discussing making sure that your bookkeeping is up to date so that you know where you're starting from. And by knowing where you're starting from, it helps you price properly. It helps you make sure that you're looking at all your costs day to day, month to month, year to year, seeing, okay, what's going up, what's going down, where can I save money? Can I afford to spend this money right now? And in the next episode, we talked about increasing the quantity of inbound cash. Specifically, we were speaking about increasing the customer average spend per purchase. An example being a plumber comes into someone's house because there's a leak, fixes the leak and says, hey, you know what else? I can do this and this. If you want me to take a look at this and this and this, the client is happy. They're like, actually, yeah, I would like you to do that. So it's a win-win for the plumber and a win-win for the customer who's happy because they're getting service they never even thought that maybe they might need. So today we're also going to focus on increasing the quantity of inbound cash. We want to really focus on that first, because that's what we think. If you're watching this on Cash Flow Club, this is probably what you're interested in. So today, when we're talking about increasing the quantity of inbound cash, we're going to talk about memberships. You might be surprised at the many, many, many number of ways that you can help even out your cash flow throughout the year by offering membership programs. And so that's what we're going to speak about today. Robin, Linda, whoever would like to speak to it first, please go ahead.
Not that long ago, I used to think, how can I ever do a membership? They're really not that hard. You go everywhere now. You go to Timmy's, you get a coffee membership. They're giving you, what is it, a donut for every time I buy my 11th coffee? But they have me hooked. If I have to choose where I'm going to go, they're not giving away a lot, but there's that membership. Or save on foods. You get an extra discount on the groceries. Those are all
that's something we all need.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter where you go. There is those memberships. Some cost more than others. I know some people have monthly subscriptions or memberships and that's effective if that's how you do your billings. I know, Linda, you have an example as well.
Well, I like picking on plumbers lately, so we're going to pick on the plumber, because a plumber would say to me, I can't have a subscription. That's something that an office would have or a store would have. Okay, but in our previous episode, we talked about the plumber who went in and saved the day for this woman that had to suddenly be responsible for her own house and had no idea how to maintain it. There's many, many people like that, and not because they're all women, we're all busy. And so if
That's
I
right.
know that I never have to think about the plumbing in my house, which is kind of the way my house operates, I have a guy that automatically comes and makes sure my filters are changed for me. He checks all of my plumbing, you know, all of that. It doesn't take him very long, but I rely on him 100%. If I ever needed a plumber in the middle of the night, I would never, ever call somebody else because he looks after me. And I don't need a plumber in the middle of the night because he looks after me.
It's maintaining.
Right? And that's just the way it is. And that's true for, I want to say, every trade out there that,
Yes.
you know, an electrician can go in, they can double check everything, service items for the client. It is about not even being creative, thinking about preventive maintenance. That's what a
Yes.
subscription in the trades is. It's about being preventative maintenance. And if you're doing that for your customers, they appreciate it. And the beauty of doing the subscription is you have all these clients and customers in one area. You just phone and you book them in one after the other, say there, I'll be there in the morning or I'll be there in the afternoon. And so you're not driving all across the city. You're not doing all of this non-chargeable work. You can do this maintenance, servicing, boom, 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 and make good money at it because nobody knows that you're doing that. And so they're paying your full rate. Now, I wouldn't charge them travel time necessarily, but they're going to pay your full normal rate regardless. And you can have what we call in the industry jump time. And that's where you make money. It's
actually,
thinking, not ripping people off. It's
no.
pre-thinking.
And again, it's win-win. I'll take, for example, my husband turned to me a few days ago and says, "Oh, we have to get the furnace maintained." I'm like, I would never have even thought of that in a million years, by the way. I'm like, what? like if I didn't have someone here to tell me that, I wouldn't know that. I want someone who comes in and says, "Okay, well, let me check your electrical. I do this quarterly. We have 4 seasons in Canada. 2 of them are winter, one's barely spring, and one's sort of fall for a week. And there's like summer." That's how I feel. But having a monthly, it does 2 things. Memberships do 2 things as far as cash flow goes. It evens it out throughout the year so that take someone like me, I do taxes. So years and years and years ago, we'd be absolutely chaotic from January to June and then have nothing for the rest of the year. But the truth is, everyone needs proper bookkeeping services throughout the year so that they know how their business is doing throughout the year, not waiting until the end of the year to go, "Okay, well, I have no idea how my business did. I'm self-employed, I'm a real estate agent. Here's how much I made, here's a bunch of expenses," and waiting to the end of the year for me to understand how my business is actually doing. So as far as cash flow goes, when it comes to memberships, 2 things. First of all, it increases cash flow immediately. Starting any kind of a monthly membership, a quarterly membership, it does that, but then also it evens it out throughout the year. And something like a real estate agent tend to be super busy in spring and then a lot quieter in fall and winter.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing as in my business. And when I'm offering for accounting services, I offer different packages. I'm like, "Okay, well, do you want me to include your corporate taxes, personal taxes, your kids' taxes, all your bookkeeping, HST, payroll?" And people can pick which it is that they want. "Do you want consultation with me twice a year?" Always beneficial. I promise you, I will always save you more money than you pay for consultation. But that's included into a membership. And they're like, "Yes, I would like to speak with you twice a year." Great. We'll do your personal taxes and your corporate taxes. Before we send them in, we'll have a discussion to make sure that you're ready for this year, that you're planning for next year, how much you should spend. Should I sell that income property next year? Should I wait another year? We can discuss OAS and CPP payments, for example. So that the financial planning is part of a membership, and they're happy to pay it because that's going to save them a fortune. And again, it's my business, so it's evening out the income and the cash flow that I have coming in as well.
Which,
And
sorry.
that's a big part of it. We have subscriptions. So often we're like, oh, we'll just add that in for free. And the whole point of the subscription is added income, but it's added service to your customers as well. It's preventative, or it's adding value, and it needs to be charged for appropriately. I'm sorry, Robin, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, you talked about having the monthly subscriptions, but that also helps you know how much staff you need, which is then going to your expenses, right? So we can't just talk about one item. They all go together. And I think that's a huge part. You can find a lot of these informations in our Cash Flow Club playbook. You can find it on Amazon. Both Shaelene and Linda and I have our own books, but they're pretty much the same content, because cash flow is really the same. But in there, they have that little diagram, and it's a successful business. And we talk about the income, the expenses, and then the management. But it's a circle, because they're all going around. So you may think, oh, well, memberships aren't that important, or I don't want to do subscriptions, memberships, monthly payments, however you want to word it. But it helps on the expense side, because now you know what expenses you're going to have as well.
That's right. Helps on so many fronts. That's right. They're all connected.
And I just wanted to say, like, sometimes a membership is as easy or as simple as the card you said, Robin. Like, you go to Tim Hortons and every 10th coffee I get free or whatever. It can be the same thing with your services lots of times. Should this be something that I can give them something free after X amount of visits? And not every industry would be as open to that as other industries, but with a little creativity and your thinking, every business can have some form of a subscription or ongoing. If you want to call it ongoing repeat revenue, go ahead, call it what you want. But in our world, we call it subscription. But really what it is, it's right?
And again, it's win-win. Right? Win-win for the client, it's win-win for you. And that's the idea. No one's trying to take advantage of anyone else. They're happy, you're happy. Perfect.
Even my yard care gentleman that comes and he sprays my yard 4 times a year. I make those payments throughout the winter, but he knows he's got that work. Well, I'm happy that I am not having to fertilize and kill my own weeds. Right? He's got it covered. It is a complete win-win with.
You don't worry, he doesn't worry. It's perfect. Perfect. So we'll get ready for our next podcast, where we will continue speaking about increasing the quantity of inbound cash. I think this time we're going to focus on offering educational content. This is something the three of us know a lot about. And again, it's a way of you increasing your quantity of inbound cash. We think that's the most important part when we're starting to talk about cash flow. Did I miss anything, Robin, Linda?
No, just thanks for joining us today.
Joining us again. Again, all the information to contact us is included. You can find our Cash Flow Club workbook on Amazon, or you can contact us. Thank you. And we will see you shortly with our next podcast on cash flow. Thank you.